guys, hope you're all doing super well. Today I'm going to be doing an eyebrow tutorial. I would say that I have like 3 different types of eyebrow days. I have number 1, which is honestly the most common, which is I don't do them at all. I actually hate doing my eyebrows. It's by far my least favorite part of makeup. So most days I don't really bother doing them at all. Then I have kind of stage 2 eyebrows, which is where I either just put some powder through them or go in with the Benefit Gimme Brow. So basically they're done a little bit, but they're not as perfect, I guess, as they could be. And then there is level 3, which is what I'm going to be showing you today, which is how I do my eyebrows when I want them fully done and filled in. So in today's video, I'm only going to be using 2 products. The first is the Benefit Brow, and the second is the Benefit Gimme Brow. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we can get started. So right now I have absolutely nothing on my eyebrows. They're definitely due to be waxed. I would say that if you are a complete beginner, it is really beneficial to first get your eyebrows waxed by a professional. I always get my eyebrows waxed at the Benefit Brow Bar. I have had some really bad, horrible experiences before, and since then have been struggling to grow back my eyebrows. So they are the only place that I now trust to do my eyebrows, because they will actually draw it out for you before they wax it, so you can completely understand what they're going to be doing to your eyebrow, what kind of shape it's going to have, how much hair is going to be taken off. So that's a really good place to go. But anyways, my eyebrows are in need of a waxing right now, but I don't get them done too regularly just because I'm lazy. So that does make it a little bit more difficult to fill in, but after you do it a few times, you kind of just understand where you want your shape to be anyways. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is just running my fingers through my eyebrows just to tame the hairs a little bit and get them into place, so that way it is easier to then fill them in. If you have a spoolie, you can also use that. So first I'm gonna be, pretty sure I can't get through a single video without dropping something. But anyways, first I'm going to be taking the Benefit Brow. I am in the shade number 3. And this is a cream gel product. What is really nifty about it is that the applicator actually comes with the product, so you don't need to buy a separate brush for this or anything. It's actually this top part, you just pop it open, and then this is what the brush looks like. So you can use another brush if you prefer, but just for the convenience factor of it already being a part of the product, and the fact that I just think it's, you know, a perfectly good brush for this, this is what I use. So when you open up the product, this is what it looks like. You really want to be careful not to get too much product on the brush. That is something that could really just make it look too unnatural. I always think that it's easier to add in extra product later versus having too much right away and trying to kind of take it down. So taking the brush, I'm just going to be very lightly tapping it into the product a couple times. Again, trying not to pick up too much product. And then I always like to start out by lining the bottom of the brow first. I find that by doing that initial bottom line, it just really helps me fill them in exactly where I want. And I just do this in little strokes. And then I just like to overdraw the tail of my brow by a little bit. Now there's really not a lot of product left on this brush, but I'm still not going to put any more on it. I'm now going to very lightly line the top of my brow. I like to do this with not a lot of product at all, so that way you can't really tell when you look at the brow, but it just helps me fill it in more perfectly. Now finally going back into the product, I'm just going to put a little bit more on the brush and really just work on filling in any gaps I have. Like right here I have a big opening, so I'm going to be putting some extra product on there. Again, just make sure you keep a super light hand when you do all of this. Now for the inner part of the brow, I'm not going to be putting any more product on it, but I'm going to be taking the brush, and rather than adding in hairline strokes from one side to the other like I have been before, I'm actually now going to be going from the bottom of the brow up. So now that I feel good about the way this eyebrow is filled in, I'm going to go in with step number 2, which is the Benefit Gimme Brow. And again, I am in shade number 3. I find that adding the Gimme Brow on top really just volumizes my eyebrows, and by doing that it makes them look a lot more natural, not so flat and obviously drawn in like they are now. And this will also just do a really good job of holding them in place all day. So this is what the brush looks like. And for some reason, I do find that sometimes clumps of this product will come off. So to ensure that I don't suddenly add too much product on the inner part of my eyebrow, I always start by putting this on a little bit more towards the middle and working my way out. And then with any product that's left over on the brush, I'll go through and do the inner part. This is also a really good opportunity to shape your brows in whichever way you want. So if you like the really fluffy, feathery look, then what you would do with this product is really just brush your eyebrows up like that. I don't really like it quite that feathery, so I tend to just leave the inner portion up and then brush the rest more horizontally. But that is obviously totally up to you. And like I mentioned earlier, this is actually a product that I will use on its own. So if I just want a much faster eyebrow, then I will just use this on its own versus putting it on top of the Ka-Brow. And then sometimes also after brushing it out, I will notice that I still have some gaps in my eyebrows. So for example, I still have this little gap here. In that case, I will just go back in with the Ka-Brow to fill that in. And then the absolute final step, which I always do, and you can skip this if you want, but for me, like I said, I just really don't like for my eyebrow to look too fake or too bold. So what I always do is at the very end, take my finger or a spoolie. Right now I'm just going to use my finger and just run it over my eyebrow just to help get rid of any excess product and make it look as natural as possible. There we go. Here is my final filled in eyebrow compared to my eyebrow that has not yet been filled in. Okay, so I just really quickly went ahead and did my other eyebrow. I hope that this was really helpful, whether you are an eyebrow beginner or just looking maybe to try and figure out how to best use these products. This is what I have found works really well for me when I want my like fully filled in eyebrow look. Obviously you can make this as heavy or as light as you want. This is kind of where I have landed to where I feel comfortable having it fully filled in, but not looking too overly drawn. Please do subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye!